Hey y'all, it's Grizz. I'm making a vlog, I guess. I'm non-binary, trans-masculine, and lesbian. um, I just wanted to talk about my orientation and my identity a little bit. I'm non-binary, which means that for me at least, it goes on the same spectrum as genderqueer, but for me it means that I'm not really on that spectrum at all. I don't really feel I don't really feel like I'm a man or a woman. I kind of feel like an in-between, but I also feel like I'm not even on the spectrum in general. So my pronouns are he, him, she, her, and they, them. I prefer he, him, and that's only because I prefer masculinity. Pronouns overall don't really resonate with me, I guess. I don't really, what am I trying to say? I don't really give a damn. I don't care if you call me she, they, just don't call me it. Just refer to me with respect. And that's all I expect out of people. But to me, pronouns is just a way to refer to someone. I don't feel like either gender, so my pronouns, it just doesn't matter to me. The only reason I do prefer he, him is because I prefer masculinity, which is why I'm trans-masculine. I will be starting tea. I got my vial right here already. I can't open it with one hand. Oh shit, bitch, I'm doing it. Oh, Jill. Okay, so I got my prescription here. This vial is way smaller than I thought it was gonna be. I'm not squeamish when it comes to shots at all. I used to take insulin for my diabetes. But my wife seemed excited to help me with it, giving me my shot, so I'm just gonna wait for her. I probably shouldn't grab this with one hand. Just a quick look at my shirt. I don't remember who I got this from, but I got it from an artist at MFF. Okay, so fucking small. Yeah, that's it right there. But I really just wanted to talk about my identity. I do identify as a he, him lesbian, and I don't really care about pronouns. My take on it is that I prefer he, him because I prefer masculinity. When I'm called sir or he or whatever the fuck, I feel like I actually am doing something right with my appearance. And that's what really bothers me the most is my appearance. I don't really feel like I am a man, but I feel like I should have those features, those masculine features, and I get dysphoric as fuck. And I just want to talk about my dysphoria real quick. It started maybe, well, I've always had a general discomfort. I've always had a general discomfort with my body, and I thought it was just because I was bullied growing up, and I thought that that's why I couldn't really look at myself and like what I saw. But and it got even worse when I got into high school. And you know, I pretty much was at the tail end of puberty or whatever the fuck, and my feminine body would pretty much be done developing at that point, and I've just always had a general discomfort, and I never really knew what it was. Okay, so here's it is. I've always had a general discomfort. High school, I came out as bisexual, which most gay people do, and then maybe like junior or senior year, I realized that I'm actually lesbian. And 18 or 19 or so, I learned about being genderqueer, and my gender was something I never really thought about. I had just started thinking about my sexuality, so my gender wasn't anything that I would ever think about. It's just I was born this way, so I assume that's what I am, you know? And once I learned about what genderqueer was, I started thinking about my sexuality and then my gender identity. At that time, I had already started dressing more masculinely, and I realized I was more comfortable taking more masculine roles and really just dressing more masculinely. Gender roles are dumb, but and I was like, okay, I think I might be genderqueer because I can't really comfortably say I'm a woman, but I also can't comfortably say that I'm a man. And a lot of the times I would feel like an in between, and I think it would depend on like my depression, and at that time I didn't really know I had depression. Like sometimes I wouldn't care about pronouns at all, and at other times I would really strongly want he him pronouns to be used, and that's because I felt like it made me feel like I was doing something right with my appearance. Once I found out that I was genderqueer, I tried to be even more masculine. I looked up different ways of how to pass for male, I guess, and I would like practice making sure I sit with my legs open, and I would just do it subconsciously. I would practice deepening my voice, which is something that bothers the hell out of me right now, even though my wife tells me all the time that my voice is deep. I can't hear it. I'm like, I can only hear it when I know that I'm purposely deepening my voice. But any other time when I'm not trying, I feel like I sound really feminine, and that bothers the hell out of me. But yeah, I would try to practice deepening my voice and just sitting the way men sit, kind of walking and acting the way that men typically walk and act. Um, and after a while, I realized that I may not be genderqueer. I kind of don't even really resonate with either or outside of preferring masculinity. And so I started identifying as non-binary, and I'm probably going to identify as such forever. And the only reason I prefer he, him pronouns is because I prefer masculinity. The reason I identify as lesbian, and even though now I know that I am transmasculine and non-binary, I still continue to identify as lesbian, is because I've been lesbian for like damn near 10 years. I feel more connected to the culture and just the experiences of being lesbian than I ever could saying that I'm straight or whatever the fuck. And then I just don't even feel comfortable saying that I'm straight because I'm technically not male. I'm technically not a man because I'm non-binary. So saying that I'm a man just doesn't feel right. I like a lot of trans people that I know. Trans, he refers to his his private bits, as his dick. And that's something that I'm probably never going to do, even when I start T and it enlarges and all that good shit. And it's not that I don't have anything against that or anything. And I don't have any issues with my how do I say, can I just straight up say vagina? Oh well, I'm just going to straight up say vagina. I mean, it's the scientific term for it, so that should... Anyway, so yeah, I don't have any problems with my vagina like a lot of trans men have. Yeah, I'm not saying that you have to have a problem with your vagina to be a trans man. I'm just speaking from my experience. And I just don't have an issue with that. Sometimes I just look at myself and just be really uncomfortable. And sometimes I'm so uncomfortable I can't even look at myself. And that's pretty much how my dysphoria has been for a long time now. Sometimes when it gets really bad, I feel like staticky. I don't know how to explain that. Like the parts of my body is always my boobs. Like that, just when I get dysphoric, it feels staticky. Like I need to remove them, but I physically can't remove them, so that upsets me even more. But yeah, that's my thing. So many people are like, oh, well, you can't be he, him, and be a lesbian. And I'm like, fuck you, bro. I've been a lesbian. I've been a lesbian since I started exploring myself, you know, and that's just what I resonate with the most. I'm not male. I'm not cis. I'm not a trans male. I'm trans masculine, which means I'm going to transition for the masculinity, but I can't say that I'm a man because I'm non-binary, and I don't care what pronouns people use. I prefer he because I prefer masculinity, but if you call me she, if you call me they, I don't care. Just come to me with respect, and that's it, you know? You have no idea as to why this person is identifying the way that they do, and if it's not hurting you, then why the fuck does it matter? And then another thing that I hear an argument against it is that it hurts trans men. And I don't see how I hurt trans men. I'm an activist as fuck. And I'm dysphoric as fuck. I might not be dysphoric when it comes to my vagina, and I might not give a damn about pronouns, but I still fucking hate my body. I still fucking hate looking at myself most of the time. And I even got to a point where I was afraid to lose weight because I thought that it would make my feminine body show more. And I know that I need to lose weight and take care of myself because I'm diabetic, and I have to do that, and I'm putting my looks over my health. And it's like, for you to say that I'm hurting trans people just because I want to identify as lesbian, fuck you. Fuck you, bro. And that's just it, really. Like, it's not hurting anyone. The people that's hurting trans men are transphobes and people who are putting gender roles on people. Like, they could prefer male pronouns because, like with me, I prefer masculinity, but unlike me, they might be comfortable with their bodies. They just prefer masculinity, and they prefer those masculine pronouns because he, him typically refers to a masculine person. Who the fuck are you to say if they can or not? You know, fuck you, bro. You not living their life. You don't have their experiences. I'm being told that the correct term that I should be using is sapphic. I think, if I'm pronouncing that right, sapphic or something like that, which means relating to lesbians. So basically, I can relate to lesbians, but I can't be a lesbian myself. And I just don't understand what the difference is. If I'm saying that I'm trans masculine and I'm relating to lesbians and I'm having sex with a woman, it ran out of space. I don't even know where I was going with. So that was about, really, I think I just need to do this video over. I just wanted to say that I'm he, him. I'm he, him, she, her, they, them, honestly. I don't fucking care. But I prefer he, him because I prefer masculinity, and it just makes me feel good. And I identify as lesbian because that's what I know. I know lesbianism. I relate to lesbians. I relate as fuck, and I guess I can just say sapphic, but I just genuinely don't understand what the difference is. You're excluding people for no reason. It doesn't harm anyone. If you feel like you can't date someone that says that they're lesbian, but they're masculine and prefer he, him pronouns, then don't date them. Like, that's shitty to do, but, you know, I can't argue your preferences, and you shouldn't argue mine. So it shouldn't matter to anyone else as to what I identify as. I've been trying to figure out and finally gotten to a good point at. You know, more recently, I've been trying to figure it out for years, and more recently, I'm just like, okay, figured out I'm non-binary, I'm trans-masculine, I'm lesbian. I don't have to figure anything out anymore. I'm happy with like how I am, as long as I choose to keep living the path that I've chosen for myself. And I'm getting all the shit about calling myself lesbian, even though I'm trans-masculine and I prefer he, him pronouns. And it's just, shut the fuck up and listen to people. You don't know what the fuck this person is doing with their life to make them feel that they need to identify this way. That's just how I am about it. I'm gonna probably continue to identify as lesbian because sexually, I connect more with lesbians. I connect more with being a lesbian sexually. but everything else in the aspect of my life, I'm just straight up masculine. You know, I don't want boobs. I don't want a figure. I don't want any of that. I'm fine with my vagina, but that's about it. And let people be, bro. Let people use whatever the fuck they want to identify as. And it really doesn't harm anyone. Trans isn't black and white. And it used to be known as black and white. You're a trans man, so that means you were designated female at birth, and now you're transitioning into being a man or whatever, and vice versa. But it's not black and white. We recognize now that non-binary people are part of it. We recognize now that being trans is a spectrum. And for you to say this, and this is how it has to be, that goes against the entire idea of the LGBT community. It just kind of shits on it. But I just wanted to say what my pronouns were, what I identify as and why, and how my dysphoria affects me. Yeah, I'm probably going to be vlogging every month, just to check up on my progress when I start tea, and I will be starting tonight. That's about it. Really, I'm lesbian, non-binary. I prefer he, him. And also, asexual is a part of the LGBT community. Alright, bye. That's a big ass needle. You know it's gonna be so big. That's good, babe. Boy, look at how ashy I am.
You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Just do it?
Yeah, just do it.
You want me to count down?
Don't like stab it in there, but like, nah, don't count down. Just do it. Just do it.
Okay.
Man, you making me nervous.
Okay. Okay. It didn't do it.
Oh, God, give me the needle. Give me the needle.
Okay.
Just put it in. You're gonna lose your spot.
I know.
It ain't even feel like nothing.
She's gonna pull it back. I'm not trying to hear any hidden vessels.
What?
I ain't shut up. Please don't jump up here.
I ain't we doing stuff.
She don't care.
I wanted her attention earlier.
She's a cat. She gives you her attention when she wants to.